Hey, what's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showcasing you the power of pure Shaddolls. I'm going to be showcasing two matches, one where I actually did lose to the guy who won the entire PPG event, and two, a match that I won where I made a bunch of misplays but I was still able to come out on top, and what we can learn from them. So without further ado, I'm going to start off with our first match, which is against Salamangreats. So here we're going to see that I actually win the dice roll. And so at this point in time, I had no idea what he was playing. All I know was that I wanted to go second, because I was playing a more go second strategy with pure Shaddolls. Anyways, what's gonna happen is I still have Torrential in my main deck. I really like this card. I think it's a very, very powerful card. So I'm just gonna go Shaddol Fusion here for the Falco and the Beast. I wanted to keep my El Shaddol a secret. I know that through making window, I get to draw one card and the Falco will reset itself, so I can just El Shaddol into another window if he does have the impermanence for this window. So that was essentially my game plan. Falco resets itself once it's used as material. I drew into the Hog, which is very, very powerful because now I can set the Hog and then set a Torrential. So the craziest thing about window is that it cannot actually be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So window is going to be really, really hard to out. My opponent's going to top deck a card, and with a handful of just monsters, he decided to essentially just scoop. And the reason why he did this is because he had no out to window, and he didn't want it to reveal what deck he was playing. We're going to quickly go into the side, and here, honestly, I sided in very generic stuff. I had no idea what he was playing. And I actually took out a bunch of back removal like Cosmic Cyclone, which I think I really, really needed to play against the Salamangreat deck, just because their traps are very, very powerful, and if he roars my spell cards, it's really, really annoying. So here he's just gonna do standard Salamangreat plays, go Foxing into Balinks, get the field spell, activate Sanctuary. He actually chooses to special summon from the hand, and that's because he just wants Jaguar in the graveyard. Not sure why he did this. He actually wanted to play around Nibiru, so he passed it on Sunlight Wolf on only I think 4 summons. But I was playing a lot of mind games with him. We were both in the voice call, but so he actually was gonna play around Nib, but he said, you know what, it doesn't really matter because I have Will to recover anyways. And so that kind of gave me a tell that his back row wasn't actually a Rage. It said that it kind of made me, I had to guess between whether or not that was a Rage or it wasn't a Rage, because he really hesitated on making a reincarnated Link, which I couldn't tell. And at this point, he actually didn't even bother to use Jaguar's effect to reshuffle his resources. So I was like, okay, interesting choice. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to set Trick Clown, because my plan was going to be Dino Missions to Squamata, Banish, and then Toolbox for essentially whatever I needed, and then use Reincarnation to bring back my Shaddol monster. So that's why I set the Trick Clown. I know that if he beats over the Trick Clown, unless he has an additional monster, I can just bring it back, so I didn't mind. And so that was essentially my game plan at the time. But you'll see here that I get punished really heavily by a Twin Twister. Honestly, I didn't expect the Rage, I'll be honest with you. I just felt that he had a roar more than a Rage. The way that he was playing made it seem like if he got that if he did get Nibiru, he just wouldn't have a play. So he still had a play, I mean. So I was like, interesting choice. So he's gonna pop both of these, which is really, really annoying for me. I think if I set Squamata, that would have been a little bit better in this situation, but that's okay. He's gonna top deck a Rage, which is so powerful. Anyways, he's gonna use Wolf effect to add back the Will, and then use Will's second effect to reborn 2 monsters. You'll notice that he actually doesn't summon to the zone that Sunlight Wolf points to, and then he's gonna make transcode, and he plays around Nibiru again. Like I said, man, I was mind gaming really, really hard. He was really playing around Nibiru, because I was kind of just saying okay, yeah, that's good, that's fine. I was just kind of super bluffing him. So he's gonna attack the clown. I'm gonna pay 1,000 life points to resurrect the clown, and then he's gonna attack with the wolf. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He's just gonna essentially set a Rage, and then relink the. He actually, oh yeah, he doesn't even relink the Sunlight Wolf, and here's why. Because when he used Will's second effect, that was 2 monsters, so it was Foxy plus Jaguar, which is 2. He made Transcode Talker, which is 3. Transcode brings back Sunlight Wolf, that's 4. I mean, if you were to make a Sunlight Wolf reincarnate right here, it wasn't really worth it, because if he gets imbued, he essentially lost the game. Here I'm gonna top deck Falco, which is not good. You'll notice that the trend with this deck is like when you don't see a fusion spell, you're gonna kind of lose, unfortunately. It's gonna be really tough to recover. I'm gonna set here the Squamata, just because I could have set Falco, but I had nothing to Reborn in the Grave. I like the fact that I don't think he like knew the interaction. I had Reshadol, so it's also like a really good extender as well. But the thing is, he does a crazy misplay. Like, he went Rage, actually pops Squamata, and that's going to be huge for me because that fuels my graveyard for Reshadol. But also, Squamata lets me get into Wendy to let me tutor out more plays. I really start to stay in the game. I mean, I'm going to go Chainlink 1 Squamata. She's going to Chainlink 2 Falco to reset the Rage. And then I'm going to use Squamata's effect to send the Wendy, and then Wendy effect to set another Squamata. You might be wondering why, Pack. Why? Well, essentially, what I can do is I can use Incarnation's effect to actually pop a card. And so I kind of predicted that. I think he was afraid of my Shadow Fusion. So what he's going to do is he's going to go essentially use Will's effect. He's going to reincarnate first, of course. And then he's going to use Sunlight Wolf to add back the Will. Use Will effect, send it to the graveyard to bring back 2 monsters, or actually 1 because he was trying to play around Nibiru, and then make Dweller. So now look at this gameplay, guys. He's going to activate Chainlink 1 Dweller. I'm going to go Chainlink 2 Reshadol, because my thought process was if I somehow top deck a Shadow Fusion, I needed that card as live as possible. So I was like, okay, I have no choice. I have to go for it. I have to like get lucky, because if he dwellers me, it's gonna be very hard for me to come back. So I'm like, I can't let him dwell me on my turn. I'm gonna have to go for it. So I went Reshadol, flip up my Squamata, and then Squamata pop Dweller. And so at this point in time, I still had like a Veiler and a Damage Juggler to stay alive. And you'll see that he has the Will there. He's gonna attack my Squamata and attack directly with the Transcode Talker. Both of them can't be co-link, and then there it is, man. I actually top decked the Shadow Fusion, but like, I mean, to be honest, I had like so many cards left in my deck. I was like, yo, when am I finally gonna see this card? I'm gonna activate Shadow Fusion here, and I actually make you're gonna see me make a really powerful card, obviously Construct. So my thought process here was essentially I can go Wendy, summon the monsters in defense, and Trick Clown to get essentially more bodies on the board. That was my game plan pretty much. So I'm gonna go effect of Trick Clown, use effect of Wendy to set the beast, because if it gets popped, I draw a card, and if I can draw into like a Torrential or anything, that would be really helpful. And then I'm gonna actually dump the El Shaddol Fusion, because my thought process here was if I get if I can like link off the Construct, I can get El Shaddol and then make another Construct with the Veiler and the Falco, reset the Falco. And so if he were to like rage my Construct, I can just like use El Shaddol and like get back into the game. I make a crazy misplay, guys. So I actually use Nightmare Phoenix to discard 1, and I discard the Falco. I shouldn't have done that. I should have discarded Damage Juggler, and that was a crazy misplay from me. The reason why I didn't dump the Juggler was because I already had 2 Trick Clown, and my ratio is 1 Juggler, double Trick Clown. I also could have just given up Veiler, but I definitely should not have been the Falco, because you'll see here that it's going to chain the Rage. I'm going to chain Dino Mishes to like kind of like outplay him there. I'm going to pop it, draw a card. I was trying to force out his Rage because I knew he had it, and I drew into an Ash Blossom, man. So that was very unlucky. And essentially, it's not even unlucky. It was more of like, if I didn't misplay, I could have went El Shaddol Fusion to another Construct. Like, I can like beat over the Transcode Talker and then just like keep playing. Like, the idea is that as long as I get to keep playing, like I would be back in the game. And so you know, Construct could have essentially sent another card, such as it could have sent the DD Crow. By sending the DD Crow, I would have banished the Jaguar, the Falco, and the Foxy, and he was essentially like, his Will was like not gonna be as effective. And yet he couldn't really. I wasn't really afraid of Transcode Talk or the Access Code Talker, because I had Veiler. If he tried to make Access Code Talker, so like even if he willed and tried to make Access Code Talker, I was still okay, and I was gonna beat over the Transcode, so that yeah, like I like if I just didn't misplay there. Here he top decks Cosmic Cyclone, and then the game is just gonna be pretty much over from here. He makes a slight misplay, where he's gonna make Baguska. He thought he went for a game, but the damage juggler is gonna actually save me the game. But even with the damage juggler, you know, I top deck aerial for turn, so I pretty much scooped from there. I think if I play that a little bit better, guys, I actually may have been able to come out on top, and that's why we watch our replays to learn from them. So I hope you guys paid careful attention to that and saw that like there was a different route of play that we could have taken. And like the thing with a rogue deck like Shaddolls is that like you can't really afford misplays, right? Like you rely, as a rogue deck, you rely on outplaying your opponent and making like basically no misplays and using all your cards to its full advantage to, like, you know, put yourself at a huge advantage. And so that misplay definitely cost me game 2, but that's fine. We have game 3. Game 3, I actually decided to make him go first because I know that like if he were to make a Balinx or anything else, my deck is just inherently better at going second, especially against the Salamangreat deck. You know, putting up Balinx on the board is huge advantage for me. He's going to go into Desires, and you're going to see that he banishes, not too bad, I think, but he did banish double Rage. So, thankfully he didn't have, I didn't know at that time, but here he actually said, if you got Nibiru, you got it. And he was really afraid I had it this time. You know, after the game 2 ended, I told him, you know, it was right to play around Nibiru, you know, I do. So I was like, I kind of was just like gassing him out, pretending like I did have it, even though I didn't have the Nibiru. Here I'm going to go Blind Cosmic Cyclone, and the goal here was to essentially make sure that I hit the Roar, which I did, thank you Jesus, just so that El Shaddol can resolve, but he's going to Dweller me, so that's fine. But the game plan here was to essentially normal summon Dragon, attack the Dweller, set El Shaddol, and then have it live for his turn. If I didn't blind the Cosmic and hit the Roar, my El Shaddol game plan would have been really, really bad. Anyways, he's going to top deck Sign in Mining. And he's there going to use Jaguar's effect to essentially shuffle back his cards and then get the Balinx on the board. On the summon, I'm immediately going to activate El Shaddol Fusion. I think about it in hindsight, if I did Squamata and Dragon, I think that would have been a little bit better because he wouldn't be able to summon anymore. And then not only that, he would have also like he had, I guess technically he had Impermanence. I actually did expect Impermanence. I think at this point in time, I expected him to have an Impermanence. And I was really, really worried about that. So I made El Shaddol because it was the best way to play around Impermanence on my window. And you're gonna see here, I'm gonna like obviously pop the back row, but I'm gonna go Construct, I'm gonna go Chainlink 1 Construct, Chainlink 2 Dragon's gonna pop the back row, and there it is. I get Imperm, man. It's really, really unfortunate, but you're gonna see he makes a crazy misplay. He actually activated Signet Mining in the same column as his Impermanence, and it actually counts his own column, and so that misplay is actually going to cost him the game, and I definitely should have lost the game from there if that card resolved, to be honest. But you'll see that he'll access code pop me. I'll get back El Shaddol Fusion, and literally anything I top deck didn't matter because I had the Damage Juggler, which gets me access to my Trick Clown, and Trick Clown would mean that my El Shaddol would be live. So you're going to see me El Shaddol here. I'm going to send Ariel, and then I'm going to send Wendy. The game plan here was to Ariel was to banish any of his recovery plays. I wanted to make sure that he had none left. So I essentially banished, you saw here, Jaguar, Roar, because it can recur itself, and then the Balinx, just so that it has less protection. I set the Beast so that I can get a really, really powerful momentum shift when I activate Beast. And that's going to be exactly what happens when I activate Beast. And you're going to see here, I actually chain El Shaddol Fusion. The reason why I did this was so I can make App Clone to negate Gozen Match. I knew that this card was going to be very problematic for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to negate Gozen Match here. And then essentially use, you know, Beast resolve to draw 2, discard 1. And then Construct will resolve to get me back El Shaddol. And it's totally fine because I have Resh. So I can actually go Resh, Reborn, anything, and then El Shaddol that. So at this point, like, I was feeling totally fine. Attack for 2,500. And then we're just going to keep playing. He tops like Desires, which is going to be really, really powerful. You'll see that he'll get Spinny and Debug here. But that's going to be totally fine. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I was in such a commanding position at this point in time. I'm going to activate, you know, Resh Shaddol, bring back the Wendy, and then essentially fuse on his turn after he made Balinx already. And so I can then trigger Wendy and then App Clone. And at that point in time, I can search Ariel, dump Ariel, and then banish more resources. I wanted to banish his Spinny His Dino Wrestler in case he top decked did Monster Reborn, and then his Transcode Talker in case he had a way to bring him back. Here I'm going to activate Beast again on my turn, discarded the Veiler because I knew that I was going to go for game. Here I make Cross Sheep, get back the El Shaddol, activate Shaddol Fusion, summon App Cologne, send a couple more cards, search a card, search Wendy with Hog, normal summon, attack, 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 and then essentially El Shaddol for game. So that was pretty much it, guys. That was like match 1. And now we're going to get into match 2. I think like game 2 was like definitely the biggest learning moment. I could have definitely took this at least 2-0, even from a very bad position as you saw in game 2. This was a very, very good match. He obviously misplayed with the sign and mining as well. But guys, I think that's the importance of watching your replays, learn from them, improve from them. And so Mario, if you're watching this, really, really good game, man. I really enjoyed our match. Very good sportsmanship. And we're going to get into game, or essentially match 2 now. He actually won the entire PPG that weekend. So I'm really, really excited to show you guys my match against him. Like I said before, he's the guy who actually ended up winning the entire event. So without further ado, we'll jump right into it. Alright, so I lose. Alright, guys, so we're back. Hey, what's up, guys? So we're back, and I actually lost the RPS. And he actually made me go first. So I was thinking he was actually playing Mech Knight Invoke. Here you'll see that I'll go Upstart Goblin into a Falco. I had Torrential Tribute, honestly, and a Cosmic Cyclone. Plus a Squamata. I felt fine. Like I wasn't really worried. I can go, you know, a Cosmic Cyclone like any back row. If he was playing Orcus now, I know that I hit the Babble. Like I was in a very decent position. You know, the Torrential Tribute usually makes people pass turns. Squamata will then, if he's playing Orcus, like I said before, if he goes normal summon Gearsus, dump a card, I can activate Torrential Tribute, send Squamata to the graveyard. Squamata dump Aerial. Aerial banish the card that he sent off of Gearsu. So I was in a very commanding position. I was not really worried at all. But then you'll see that he top decked Lightning Storm, man. So like I said, this format can be very sacky. He top decked Lightning Storm. He got it, I guess. That basically like destroyed my disruption. 2 disruptions, and he went +1 off that. He also drew an extra card for turn going second, so he was already way up in advantage. And you'll see that he also has Reasoning. And so Reasoning into the Scrap Recycler was way too insane. I actually don't Veiler this because if he has any other extender, I lose. So you're going to see that, which he does. You see the Machina Fortress. So he's going to go Machina Fortress. He's going to link both of those into the Scrap Arbor. And the Scrap Arbor is usually the correct target to Veiler. But you'll see that I'll get sacked again. He had the World Legacy Succession to bring back the Scrap Recycler. And I was like, man, all these cards that like were supposed to be search, like World Succession off lib, like he had it. You know, so I was just like, I guess I'm unlucky. He also topped like Lightning Storm. So I mean, like, I think I played correctly. You know, he just had all the right cards. So there's really not much I could have done here. And you'll see that he's going to pretty much like OTK me. So what I do is, you'll notice that I had Torrential Tribute, Cosmic Cyclone, Veiler, Upstart, right? The Upstart is kind of weird, but obviously a lot of people know me for, you know, Geist. He probably thought I was playing Alter Geist, but unfortunately, a lot of people were spectating my matches from match 1 and 2. And so like, I had at least like 20 watchers in my game. So like, even though like I was bluffing, you know, Alter Geist, you know, like he knew what I was playing, unfortunately, which is like so unfortunate because, you know, a lot of people just like kind of like watch me, especially when I was playing. And I was streaming the tournament, but I had my, you know, self closed, so like no one could see my hand and stuff. But anyways, we're going to go to game 2. I had Lancia in my side deck. I expected a lot of dinos, not a lot of Orcus, but you see opens up Reasoning again, and I actually called level 3 this time because I'm like, yo, I called level 1 because I actually thought he was playing Ghost Second Infernoids when I saw Reasoning was the first thing activated. And so this time I'm like, yo, I'm going to call 3, and I did. So I called 3, and he hits the Scrap Recycler, and I was like, yo, thank you, Jesus. I got blessed by that. He's going to literally pass turn on that. So I'm going to go Cosmic Cyclone on his set, which was a Twin Twister. I felt really good about that. I'm going to set Dinomicious and just set 2 and then just pass. You'll see that he actually tops like Twin Twister. So he's going to go Twin Twister, dump Babble. What you're going to see me do here is I'm actually going to activate Dinomicious, chain Dinomicious, dump Aerial. And actually, the reason why I do this is because I thought he actually had a Nightmare in his hand, because Babble has an effect where, like, if it's in the graveyard, you can actually send one card from your hand to the graveyard to add this card to your hand. And so my game plan was, yo, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain down Omniscience, banish the Twin Twister that was activated, dump Aerial, and then Aerial to DD Crow his Babble, and his Scrap Recycler. And you saw it, guys. You saw right here that he actually had the Monster Reborn. So you can see right there that I played that correctly, and essentially like played around his Monster Reborn, as well as like a Babel, essentially his graveyard effect. So we're just gonna set Rush Shaddolls here and then pass. He's gonna summon Gizmek, banish 8, and just kind of like swing at me, which was totally fine. On my turn, I activated Rush Shaddolls. The reason why I did this was because I knew I can chain down Omishes, bring back the Aerial, and then tribute summon for the Beast, which was my game plan. So I was like, okay, that's in a very, very good position. He's going to attack over Aerial, which, doesn't get its effect. But then I can activate Beast. Unfortunately, he had the Ash Blossom for it. I set Clown in defense mode. I had the Ash for his Machina redeployment. He's going to beat over my Beast. I drew top deck Wendy for turn. Going to set the Wendy. And then he's going to attack over the new set, which is the Wendy. Trigger my... I summoned Falco here because it's going to give me the most advantage. So I can go, like, affect Falco, reset the Beast. And then you're going to see me go Rush Shaddolls, flip the Beast to draw a couple more cards, dump down the Evenly Mash. That was actually really bad draw off Beast. I was kind of hoping for a fusion spell. But you're going to see me. I'm actually going to do a crazy big brain play that a lot of people don't know about this card. Watch this. I'm going to flip on my Damage Juggler and then make Proxy F Magician. By doing this, I can then banish Damage Juggler, normal summon Trick Clown, and then use Proxy F Magician, which lets me fusion summon using monsters from my field. And I'm going to fusion exactly the Trick Clown and the Beast. So you'll see that I'll fusion both for Construct. And then, because Trick Clown hit the graveyard, I can actually use Trick Clown effect to bring it back. I have a Spellcaster and a Link 2. You already know what that means. I'm going for the Selene play. Construct is going to dump the El Shaddolls fusion, because if I were to link it off, I can then just essentially add back the El Shaddolls. That was essentially my game plan. So I'm going to link both those into Selene into access code. Use access code to pop the Gizmek, but I made a critical error here. I actually forgot that Gizmek, it was a Quake effect, and I was like, oh shoot, he's gonna actually play through this. But that's fine. I attack with access code, attack with Construct directly. I still had Ash and I still had Lancia, so I felt like okay. He top decked urgent schedule, but thankfully I had the Ash Blossom from the Beast. He's gonna activate Rodalex's Succession on my access code talker, and then on there, I thought he was gonna use Gizmek's effect to pop my card, so I immediately activated Lancia. I activate Lancia. He's gonna bring my Selene back, use both of them to make his own Zero Boros, and then beat over my access code. That was really annoying. I top decked my Pankratops, and then he's gonna summon Gizmek and then banish all cards on the field. And then thankfully I had Shaddolls Dragon, so I know that even if he top decks a monster, I can just bounce the Zero Boros back. So he's gonna attack. He's gonna attack with Zero Boros first, which means I have to actually bounce the Scrap Recycler. That's fine. I summon the Pankratops. I out the Zero Boros that way, and then I set the Trick Clown. He's gonna top deck Lightning Storm, which doesn't do anything, and then he's gonna normal summon Scrap Recycler attack. He takes the point of damage from this play. And then I top deck down Omishes, which is really, really bad. I actually thought I lost the game. So I was like, okay, I have to switch this to attack mode and risk it for the biscuit. The problem was this is I played around I would actually lose the Lightning Storm. But then that didn't matter because he top decked Machina Fortress, and I essentially won the game from there. So I decked him out, which was totally insane. I think that game 2 was so wild. We're not going to go into game 3. You'll see that game 1, 2, and 3, I didn't draw a single fusion spell. Game 2, I won the whole game without resolving either El Shaddolls or Shaddolls fusion at all. And you'll see that my, unfortunate luck continues. I drew double Aerial, Squamata, Sanctum, and Ash, but you're going to see that he actually has the Ash Blossom for my Sanctum. I don't Ash the Gear Suit here. The main reason being that I knew that I was going to Sanctum him, and I wanted him to actually use Gear Suit effect to actually make the 2 tokens, and then make the essentially the Link 1. I told him that he can make this. He tried to win Galatea right away. I'm like, you can't do that. You have to actually make Link Rebull first or anything else. So he actually makes Link Spider, and I'm like, okay, nice. But then I'm like, okay, on resolution, which he kind of sped through it, by the way. I was like, on resolution, I've Sanctum, and the man had Ash Blossom. So you already know I got sacked by the Ash Blossom here. I couldn't really bring it out and stop his turn, because if I did, I had a really good chance of coming back. I had, because the thing is, I had an extra token out of Squamata. If I can make Proxy, I can try to play. But unfortunately, he's going to make Galatea and pretty much just go off. He's going to activate Raigeki, which I'm not sure why he did, because I'm going to trigger Squamata for free. Send Wendy effect, set Beast. He's going to activate Ding to not send, actually, but to equip. And then he's gonna go attack. I'm gonna activate Beast to draw 2 cards. And you see I have 31 cards of my deck, still no fusion spell. I dump Aerial and then use Aerial Effect to banish his cards. So you'll see that I actually use Aerial Effect. I banish all his monsters just because, you know, he plays like World Alexis Succession, which I saw game 1 and 2, and he plays Monster Reborn. So I top deck Squamata, which is a really, really bad top deck. It's fine. He attacks over it, and I couldn't really do anything. In hindsight, I should have used Aerial to banish one of my cards, just so that I can actually use Aerial to bring it back if he attacks over the Aerial. I think that would have been a lot better. That definitely was a misplay for me. I could have thought about that way in advance. So here I attack Dragon. He's going to activate Monster Reborn, like I said before, playing around the Monster Room, so I DD Crow the whole graveyard. He's going to bring back the Beast. Beast is going to link off into Galatea. I'm going to Ash his Nightmare, and then Valor his Galatea. Here's the reason why I Valored his Galatea is essentially because if he sets the counter trap, I literally lose the game. Because if I top deck El Shaddolls Fusion or Shaddolls Fusion, it's going to get negated and I lose. I only have a Wendy left, so I was like, oh, not much I can do. He's going to activate World Alexis Ascension and use this effect to attach just so that he stays in the grind game. He's going to attack over the Shaddolls Dragon, and I'm going to bounce actually the reason why I bounced the Galatea and not the Nightmare or the Ding is because if he had the Nightmare in the graveyard, then he can like continue playing, and also like he needs to like top deck a monster to like keep playing. And there you see I top deck Dino Mishes. He's gonna go normal summon Scrap to like dump a card, which is essentially probably gonna be like Jet Synchron. Yep, he's gonna dump Jet Synchron just so that he can dump Scrap Golem out of his hand and then try to make the Wyvern from here. Thankfully, I had the Dino Mischief to banish the Scrap Wyvern, and then on resolution, I can use Aerial Effect to essentially target the Scrap Golem, the Galatea, and everything else, just so that his graveyard is nothing at all. He had 1 card left in hand. He had Dingirsu. He had no way to link off the Dingirsu to put Nightmare in the graveyard to keep playing, so I felt really, really good about that. He's just going to attack me, so we're like just top decking at this point in time. So here, I'm going to top deck Torrential Tribute, which is a really bad top deck against his deck. But unfortunately, my side deck was not prepped for Orcus at all. So I had to keep Torrential Tribute in. I top decked the Wendy, which is really good. But he top decked Scrap Recycler, man. Again, like, it was just so frustrating. He top decked, like, Gearsu, Scrap Recycler, Scrap Recycler. So just a bunch of starters back to back to back. So I just couldn't really do much. And this is where the game's gonna end from there. He's gonna activate Ding to send the Wendy. I don't activate Torrential Tribute because I don't want Nightmare to go into his graveyard for him to make more plays. And even then here, I just couldn't do anything. Because he made Ding, I couldn't Torrential Tribute him. I thought he was gonna go into like Longirsu or anything else, which if he did, I was gonna Torrential Tribute him. He was gonna negate it with Crescendo, which I didn't know at the time. But if he attacked Falco, I would have just reset Beast and then try to like keep playing. But he had essentially the Crescendo, and because he went Nightmare on the Ding, the Nightmare was too strong for me. And like you saw, I literally milled 5 more cards from my deck, and I still didn't see El Shaddolls or Shaddolls Fusion. So I think at this point in time, the only misplay that I think I could have like actually improved on was actually using Aerial to banish my own graveyard, because Aerial actually banishes from both graveyard, and because I had double Aerial, I could have banished by my graveyard, activate Aerial, like set Aerial. If he attacked over Aerial, like reset another card and keep playing and gain more advantage off that, and essentially get that free +1 instead of like setting a Squamata, which like didn't do anything. So that was definitely a misplay that I could have, like changed, or like a play that I definitely could have done better. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys want the deck profile for this PBG ban list, let me know in the comment section below. I'll actually put it in the description box, and I'll also like have it up on the screen here. The deck list that I use for the PBG ban list format. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys enjoy more learning from your replays in the series that I'm doing, let me know in the comment section below. I really like doing watching or learning from your replays, because I'm trying to improve as a player, especially when you play a rogue deck, like I said before, like Shaddolls. You don't really have a room or a high margin of error, so playing very optimally and playing as best as possible is like the best way to succeed in this current metagame with a deck like pure Shaddolls. But without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this the 2 matches I've showed, and without further ado, guys, thank you so much. See you guys in the next one. Peace.